In just the past couple of months, I created 3 Google Sheet add-ons. They're all released, actually. I did release them first to Bettersheet members, but they're all available for public use completely for free. One is called Sheet Styles. In one single click, it changes your entire background color and also the font color, and also changes the font to colorless. Makes it a less contrast kind of sheet. And then allows you to revert that back to default if you wish to share that sheet with someone else, maybe a boss. The second one was Tiny Sheets, which creates a one cell sheet, but it also creates a one row sheet or a one column sheet. Also deletes all the unnecessary rows and columns beyond data that you have. And then the third Google Sheet add-on that I just released is called Button Styles. It creates a really cool button with a little shadow under it. And it allows you to save your color scheme, if you wish, inside of it, which is really, really unique. You can make like a link tree out of this. You can make a really cool navigational sort of table of contents with this button style. In this video, members ask me any questions they want. I was completely open about my business, and the first 10 minutes, I think, or more, we talk about Gorilla ROI, which is an Amazon API, which is definitely out of my wheelhouse, and you might even notice that. But I do want you to stick around to the end because towards the end, we talk about one of the most unique and problematic parts of Google Sheet add-ons, which is creating a sidebar on the side, little HTML sidebar that I created in a couple of these. It's problematic because you have to change the runtime version of your Google Sheet add-on. I think that's the most important part of this entire video, and I might make a separate video about that because it's so important. And it's so weird too. It's something that it took me a long time to figure out, and I hope I figured it out for you so you can create cooler Google Sheet add-ons. If you're trying to build a Google Sheet add-on yourself, comment down below if you have any questions, problems. I do reference Alice Keeler's great step-by-step article. I'll put a link to that down below, and I'll put a link down below to my Indie Hackers article that I link to that article as well, and talk about my own process and my own journey. Thanks for watching, and enjoy this open session that I had with members asking me about Google Sheet add-ons.
You'd mentioned OAuth in one of the emails, so I probably was thinking of some questions regarding that as well. So,
Yeah, what about that? Just in general, or have you
well, just in
dealt with
general, I
it?
mean, like let's say I wanted to connect a Google Sheet to an Amazon API which has OAuth 2 authentication. Would an add-on be better for that, or would it programming that into the sheets be actually the best method to kind of do that?
Yeah, so you're connecting to Amazon, which itself has OAuth. Is that what you're asking?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to sign into an Amazon account and pull statistics or data from the Amazon API is what I really want to do with it.
Yeah, so the OAuth that I was referring to is the OAuth that Google has on Google's side. Anytime you use script, app script, and particularly like
That's what
spreadsheet
I
app, mail
thought.
app, yeah, it's that OAuth. But um, what's interesting about using, well, okay, so I'm not that glued in, and I don't have that much experience accessing many other APIs, but there is in Google, one of the OAuth is using an external service, and that you can do. And I actually do that, even though I don't necessarily use an external API. One of the OAuths that I ask for is using UI, connecting to an external service, because I want to link to things. The OAuth on Google side, and I know this is not necessarily your question, but the OAuth on Google side is asking for, you need to ask for the most restrictive scopes that you might use. And then the language that they use is like, what is the most that someone that has this could ever do with it? So it always sounds very scary. I know that wasn't necessarily your question, but that Google OAuth has external connects to an external thing, and connecting to the Amazon API would be external. There's also libraries you might be able to download and use to do that much easier.
Okay. I know it's possible, but yeah, I don't know a lot about the OAuth in Google Sheets actually. So
Yeah, the OAuth on Google Sheets is literally just asking you to like, what is a user need? most of the time, even if you're going to access a API, it's pretty elementary. Like it's not so much. You just literally say to Google, I'm gonna access Amazon API and get data back for the user. It sounds like so what I wouldn't know about this part is the on the Amazon side, what process would someone go through? Do they already have an API key? Do they have to go through some screens? Because in Google Sheets you don't have screens, but you can link someone to outside. Like you can and say go authorize here. That's pretty useful from Google Sheets.
Right. They have an Amazon specific case. I think the it's a login with Amazon function. You have to log in using your Amazon credentials.
I would,
And I've been working with Epiphany. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Yeah, I know that they're working on adding OAuth to it, but it still can't quite do just what I need. And I know that you've seen some of the spreadsheets that I've been working on. One of the spreadsheets that I'm working on is obviously instead of manually entering data in from Amazon, it would be most helpful to kind of just pull it automatically. And basically what I do is I track the different rankings or the different different traffic numbers each day. Like the page got
sorry.
this
So
many impressions this
maybe
day,
I'm
this many
maybe I
clicks.
misstepped here though. Then if you're doing this just for your own personal use, then add-ons are like overkill.
Well, I mean for personal use, but obviously if I took the time to build it out, I'd probably want to sell it off as well.
Then you don't but you don't necessarily need an add-on in order to like because you're going to be using your own Amazon API key, and if somebody has an Amazon API key, you can just tell them like put it in here in this sheet. Maybe if you want to go back.
Well, there are
to
two ways to do it. There for one, I guess if you had your own API key, then one solution would work. But there's also a way to there's also a permission in Amazon where you put in your API key and other people just use login with Amazon. So it's able to connect to multiple accounts based upon, and I would envision it probably working the way that is probably using my API key, and then someone's logging in with Amazon to pull their data.
I don't think you necessarily want to do an add-on in that case if people are going to be using your API key and the service is using your API key. Like that seems like a web service more than you'll want to set up a server and make sure that all those credentials are pretty safe. I'm so this is actually one weird thing about Google Sheet add-ons is it does seem very safe. In fact, like that's one of the reasons why I've started doing them is so that the code is obfuscated for the in service to the user, so they don't have to ever copy code. They don't have to deploy a web app. They can just install the add-on and be done. But secondary to that, that's like first is just an easier time for the user. Secondary to that is like, yeah, obfuscating the code so that like you just don't see it. But I'm not exactly sure how extremely safe API keys can be from if you put them in code. Because if you put it in an app script and then you put it on a Google server, Google has that information. You're not encrypting it against Google's information. They need to be able to access that code to be able to see what you're doing. But two, when you're sending and receiving information data from a Google Sheet add-on, I don't know the security around that. I don't know if it's encrypted. I don't know if someone can grab your API key and your secret keys based on just packet of information going in and out. I wouldn't necessarily. And again, this is the fact is I don't know. So it could be absolutely secure, or it could not be.
I was just looking. I did find something, and I'll paste it in the chat window for you.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
Gorilla, and I haven't looked at this in detail, but this is probably very similar to something that I want to build internally for my use. But then obviously these guys have taken it and they've basically put it on the market as well.
Cool. What would you do?
But that's essentially what I'm looking to do is to pull Amazon seller data into a Google Sheets category.
Here, I'll share my screen so you can walk me around this. So I'm looking at this what is it called? Amazon Seller Central to Google Sheets integration.
So within Amazon, you have a lot of data that you can pull. mainly you're looking at like the page got this number of impressions, sales data. I'm not really interested in that. Some of the data sets that they have, I have unique data sets that I look at because one of the sheets that I showed you kind of in our first session is essentially a rank tracker. And you want to look at when you're launching a product, you want to look and see, okay, well, this is how many, these are how many page impressions I'm getting. These are the number of, sales that I'm making, that sort of thing.
I mean, why not try this? Do you have to pay for it? Free registration required.
I'm sure, yeah. It's because they make a distinction free non-paying users.
It says enter the user ID from your account to activate it. That's from Gorilla ROI. Free. I mean, try it. If it has some of the information you want, then it works.
I know it works. It doesn't have all the information I need. I've tried it before, like I said, but and I think I don't even know what they charge for this one. The free one's just a free trial, essentially.
Yeah, but it only works for Amazon professional seller accounts. Is there a difference between Amazon professional seller accounts and individual accounts?
An individual account can be professional. The only difference between a professional and a non-professional account is that the non-professional is how Amazon charges you, and you have access to more features of Amazon.
And it actually just says here, second sentence, Amazon API credentials are required, which are only available for professional sellers.
So they're using their, I guess the users using their API keys.
Yeah, the free version allows you 3 of your SKUs for free, and you need an auth token from Amazon. So you need your ID and then auth token.
But this is the connection that I need to make to Amazon, whether it's for me or for anyone else.
And where's that Amazon API? Professional.
They have several different APIs there. There's the selling partner API is one of them, and then they have the advertising API.
You want both of those, or
I probably would need both of those, yeah, or to connect to both of those.
Okay, did you create a developer account?
Yeah, I've got a developer account already, and I've been, the end result is going into Sheets, but I've been playing around with other tools, not in Sheets, with my API keys, and I've got something that works. But if the end result's going to be in Sheets, and it were possible to connect in Sheets, which I think it is, I know it is because Gorilla ROI can do it, then it should be possible. I guess they built an app for it, but it may be possible to program it within the sheet as well.
Yeah, so one of the sort of things that I haven't been able to crack is that some of these so if you're going from Google Sheets directly to Amazon, then it's going to be a lot of code in AppScript that you're like, it's okay to do that code in there, but if you put it through a server that you run, then you can, like Gorilla here, you can charge for that access to that server. So instead of saying, here's just the code and you can use the code, you have to like use the code to access their servers, which is a little out of the bounds of what I've tried to do yet. But it's on the list of things that I'm doing, which is because there's an add-on that I want to make in which I don't necessarily think the add-on itself, like in AppScript, can handle it. I have to use funny enough, I have to use Google Sheets API, which I don't know necessarily I want to run through an add-on, but I want to make it an add-on so that it's easier for the user, right? So that's sort of a lot of pros and cons there, a lot of things to maneuver.
Right. Very intricate.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, and it also decreases the amount of information you're sending through the Google Sheet add-on. Here you're only asked to add Amazon seller ID and auth token, so that's good. It doesn't seem like you would like Gorilla doesn't have their API sitting in the
right. Looks like they're allowing the user to put in their information and do it.
Yeah, and
they just have the programming there to make it possible.
And it's also allowing the user the least amount of information, right? Like, what is this? I mean, it sounds like they also have their totally separate other. Do they only sell this? That's the only thing they do? Gorilla ROI?
Pretty much, I think. I mean, they may have some other tools, but I think that they primarily focus on Amazon.
I mean, Amazon and Google Sheets. This is literally everything they do.
Yeah.
Cool. They have templates.
What do they charge? Look at the pricing there. It's kind of interesting. I want to see what I want to say it's about $40, $50, maybe not.
They don't have their price. Where is it?
Oh, view
plans.
plans. There it is. I guess it depends on. Ooh, it's a little bit more than that.
But it sounds like it's worth it.
Yeah, if it's. I mean, that's Amazon is not the best interface for analyzing data.
Yeah, would this be replacing something like downloading CSV files and things like that?
That and I could probably customize my own tables that are basically synced to how I need to view the data.
Right, a lot of little data munging, data management.
Lots of it.
Nice. Well, at least it'll save you $147 a month.
Yep.
And if you're, I mean, my particular coding is not necessarily up to dealing with all these kind of APIs, but if you just go on Upwork, there's a lot of AppScript developers that will do exactly what you ask. Unfortunately, you'll have to ask very specific things because they'll literally just do what you ask. But you could probably get that done in less than $100 just to access an Amazon API.
Right.
And then putting it into an add-on is actually pretty elementary. Like once you have if you have AppScript that runs and it works fine, putting it into an add-on is like inconsequential. It's much easier.
Gotcha. So you've developed a couple of them then. I guess you're on your third add-on now?
Yes, I am. I can share my screen again. The first two, have you used them at all?
I've seen them. I haven't used I've seen the style sheets and then the tiny sheets, that's the one cell thing, right?
It is, yeah. But I think the coolest part of it is not so it is create a one cell sheet, but there's also it loads here. There's also the ability to create a one row sheet, one column sheet. Looks like this, which is really useful for making lists. So I don't have to duplicate this and then delete all these columns. Oh, I did the opposite. Delete column.
Exactly the reason why.
Yeah. And then like I think even the more powerful part of this is like if you have some information here, you're like, I don't really want to have all of these extra columns and rows. You can just delete the rows and columns outside of the data range in one click.
Right.
I think that's like the coolest part of it. I don't know why I didn't just say that's the biggest part. I keep harping on the create a one cell sheet, which is like not useless in any way, way, shape, or form, but it's like it's just so weird.
And you would use the one cell, you would use it to store data that's kind of essential for maybe another sheet to operate.
Yeah, it takes the place of having to do a named range. And also for AppScript, it makes it easier on me to like remember that it's the sheet name, like API key or data point or name of something. But it also, I use it to just start smaller instead of having a big sheet like this and then having to delete a bunch of stuff that I don't know necessarily how big a sheet will be if I'm doing like a landing page or like a start here tab. If I'm adding information or even settings, like a settings page, I'm only going to be using 2 columns, maybe like name, API key. I want to share this article that was really helpful for me.
Is that the getting the one approved?
Yeah.
I read your indie hackers article, by the way. I read that before the session.
That's
Again,
literally
I didn't quite head over to
perfect. Yeah, this is what I was going to share. So my indie hackers post, I mentioned that how I created the first one, and then I used this Alice Keeler's article, Customize Google Workspace with Add-ons. And this each and every time this has helped me. So you go through this once, it seems like a lot of steps, and it is a lot of steps. And then the second time I went through a few steps and I like forgot where I was and I went back to this. And then the third time as well, I went back and just made sure that I was doing the right things because there's some settings on the workspace and in Google where you have to enable like the marketplace SDK. You have to do OAuth first. You have places to go. And it's like all of it together is quite complicated, even though each part is very simple. all together. It's complicated. And there's a lot of things to fill out that are not necessarily required. And so this Alice Keeler's article here on workspace.google.com has been fantastic. I keep using it each and every time. I thought at one point I would be like, okay, I know the process. I get it.
But you kept heading back. So, and this is kind of another the other OAuth question I was asking, but would you be able to use Google OAuth in this case to authenticate that someone has paid for or has access to a script and basically be able to provide access to a spreadsheet on a monthly basis, subscription basis, essentially?
Sorry, this is a few questions. So the ultimate question is you want to give access on a monthly basis to a Google Sheet and then revoke access if that person does not continue paying.
That's the primary question, but would you use Google OAuth in this particular sense in terms of an add-on to do that?
I mean, I've thought about this, but I haven't actually executed this yet. I mean, I have Only Sheets, but that's a app script that you install yourself, and it also uses Gumroad's payment system or like
Right.
Stripe as well. You 100% you can use Stripe for payment and then have. So the issue is from Stripe, you need a webhook to capture payment or cancellation data. Each of these parts are possible to do on Google, but like, do you really want to rely on a Google Sheet deployed as a web app in order to capture payment? Probably not. You probably want your own server, so you're gonna just run something like I mean, you can do this very simply with Ruby on Rails on Heroku or JavaScript.
Yeah, not necessarily capturing payment, but authenticating to see if they've paid or basically checking to see if their subscription is current.
Yeah, it completely depends on where you're getting paid, which is going to be, I mean, in my case.
Well, let's say with Gumroad, for instance, or
Mhm.
there are other options out there, which I think Gumroad recently increased their fees, didn't they?
Yeah, but also Gumroad. Gumroad has license keys. So this is one thing, you can use Gumroad for this for license keys, but also you can produce your own license keys. And the thing is, the only thing you need is someone to put in a license key and then somewhere to check for that license key. And that license key can be produced very, very, very simply. Like you can do them and you can create license keys in Google Sheets. The issue is like checking it, right? Which again, each of these parts you can do individually, but like all together, you have it all together. You have the payment together with the license key, with checking the API. Gumroad has sort of done all this for you. Unfortunately, you still have to like write a little script that checks if the license key exists, and they have not done the limitation of them. So you can generate a unique license key, but you can't that only generates it. It doesn't like say if it's checked more than once, stop. Like that's going to be on your programming to say only one person can use this. So I have for like Better Sheets, for instance, I have on my own server, I set up that once somebody uses a license key, it says that has one use. So if somebody else uses that same license key, they can't use it because it already has a use. And has max number of uses is one. That's that then like each time I use the Gumroad licensing key system, I'm like, this is so stupid. It doesn't help me in any. If now I'm sort of forced to get paid by Gumroad, like for people to pay me through Gumroad, which is like not a very great thing because then I still have coding to do to actually use this license key system.
I was going to use Gumroad primarily. I do have an interest in eventually selling off some sheets, but I was going to use Gumroad, but I was probably going to program or try to program a solution that's independent of Gumroad. One of the kind of cart systems that basically has a full API access that gives you access to everything and use that as well.
Yeah, so something like $20 a month on Heroku is not gonna like kill a business. And it does sound also like, why would I pay $20 and also code my own solution if Gumroad has the solution? But again, Gumroad needs you to handle a lot of the like business logic. So it's it's sort of useless if you are only looking for license keys. And I have thought about adding features to something like sheet styles or tiny sheets where you unlock it with a license key. And if I did that, I would just put the license keys on my own server and access them and say, is this being used by more than one person? I would, I would just do this myself. I wouldn't necessarily use Gumroad's license key system.
Right.
God, I hope that answered your question. I don't know.
It does. It does.
Because it's sort of talking over a very weird thing. AbleBits has done this, I think. AbleBits has Google, let's see if I, Chrome extent. They had Chrome extent. Sorry, Google Sheets extension add-ons. Do they still have it? A bunch of, yeah. I think you have to pay something like, what is this? This is for Microsoft Excel. It was like $2.99 a month, or maybe they switched. I don't know. Have you ever used AbleBits add-ons?
No.
I used to use these in Google Sheets all the time, and then they started being paid for. But all of these are all different add-ons. And then all of them have like either some free version inside it, and then you unlock it with some key. So that is possible.
Right.
Now I'm trying to look for if they have a photo of it, but they don't. Maybe we can just add it on. Is this what it's called? Merge to the
So
merge.
the goal would be to kind of finish up a couple of different sheets and then protect the data or protect the coding in some shape, form, or fashion and sell them.
Yep.
If they prove useful for me.
Yeah, add-ons are great for that. But again, not everything, right? I wouldn't put my API keys in here. I wouldn't do anything that in the code has some like secret keys.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily allow the add-on to deal with payment in any way. Like I don't even think you can. I think you when you do submit add-on, you can say that it's for payment. So you don't have to say it's free and then have the license key that says pay for it. You can tell them when you're applying for it that it's a paid product. So that's not a problem.
Right.
Everyone who's come now, you just joined recently?
Yeah, so I haven't like explored the courses yet. Yeah, no questions for me.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really expressed much. That's why I did this sort of impromptu session, because in the courses and in the videos I don't go over add-ons at all. I just have the add-ons available. And I had a few questions over the past few weeks and months, people asking about doing certain things in Sheets, and in my head, I was like, oh, this should just be an add-on. Like a lot of people want to have code run and give code to other people, but then not let them see it and not let them edit it. So a lot of people I've worked with in learning AppScript, they will create AppScript for even within their own company. Oh, that was like the big question, actually. Sorry. All right. So my point was, in videos, I don't go over how to do add-ons. I do AppScript, but like putting AppScript into an add-on is like literally the same thing. It's if you can write AppScript, you can write an add-on. It is one and the same. You almost don't have to do anything extra coding wise. All of the extra stuff to do to create an add-on is literally just like filling out forms on Google, in Google Cloud is a big deal. Is like you got to get a cloud account, and then you have to do OAuth consent, which is fairly easy step-by-step process, and then you have to do marketplace, install and enable the marketplace SDK, and then fill out that form and then publish an add-on. All of that stuff is no coding at all. In fact, I worked more I had spent more amount of time in Canva than coding to create the assets. So I think that's fun. If you know AppScript, you can create add-ons.
I think I saw in one of the courses you have an intro to, yeah, that's something I'm also interested in. But
Yeah, there's actually two courses. One is Learn to Code in Google Sheets, which is 38 minutes. It's very fast. It's very like rapid paced. And meaning like it sort of walks you through everything or a lot of the intro stuff, but then sorry, it doesn't walk you through it. It talks you through it and shows you stuff. But then the Spreadsheet Automation 101 is truly step by step, gaining you all of the ideas you need to know and all of the like and the terminology, getting you ramped up fairly quickly too. Within 3 hours, it's 29 videos. Each of the videos are like 2 to 7 minutes ish. So you can do it in one a day and you'll be done in a month, or you can take a nice Sunday afternoon and watch 3 hours. But the Spreadsheet Automation 101 is much more walking you through it all. But I would also suggest doing both. Like Learn to Code is just fast, 38 minutes. And also if you watch it at 2x speed, it's 20 minutes. But then not getting like, sometimes people get a little not confused, overwhelmed by it all. Like, oh, there's so much to learn. But the Spreadsheet Automation 101 goes step by step by step and eases you into that learning curve, I think. Oh, but sorry. So that actually, you bring up in my mind one of the questions that I've had, which is someone who wants to create a Google Sheet add-on. Sometimes what they're actually trying to do is create a some script for them to do, for others to do in their organization, in their company. And they don't necessarily want access for that person to edit it, even though there is no badness about it. It's not like, oh, I want to sell the script. It's like, oh no, I want to create the script and have someone be able to use it, but I don't want them to ever have access to accidentally change anything. And now we know that AppScript is extensions, app scripts, and then you have to go into the code and you have to do something. That's a lot of, it still is available to people. So what you can do is you can create a Google Sheet add-on internally. And this doesn't need to go through the Google review process, I think, at all. And it allows you to create a Google Sheet add-on just for your domain. It is pretty powerful. I have not actually gone through that process. I've only done the external. So there's a choice you have to make at one point when you create a Google Cloud project and you create a Google Sheet add-on. Is it asks you, is it internal or external? I've always chosen external. That's the 3 Google Sheet add-ons that I have. But there is an internal available. And that one, if you have an organization and you're writing scripts for your organization, that's the one you want to use. And it doesn't have to go through the Google review process, which is really good. We're going through some of the past questions I've had about Google Sheet add-ons, but you're more than welcome to ask in the chat too. One question I got about Google Sheet add-ons. Sorry, you can't unmute. I can ask you to unmute. Well, Jeff tries to unmute. One question I got is why 3 add-ons? Why not just one Better Sheets add-on? Sorry. So I don't have like a very good answer for this. I don't necessarily think that one add-on is better or worse to do everything I want to do. I know that some add-ons I don't want a sidebar, the HTML sidebar that opens, and some I do want it, and some I just want to access it in a couple of clicks, like in a menu. So I know that's one difference, that I want to have different add-ons that do different things contextually. In the future as well, I want to create add-ons in which that they're free for some amount of use, but then there's some features that are paid for that you have to be a member for. So I know that I'll need to have different scopes, OAuth scopes, and different API access. So that's one reason why I want to have different add-ons, and not just one. But as a business, I also want to have different add-ons so that users of Google Sheets are going to the Google Sheet add-on marketplace and searching for specific terms. You can't have all of the terms you ever want in your add-on if you have one add-on and everything's inside of it. You want the name of the add-on to be pretty much what people are searching for. So like one of the most popular add-ons is table styles, and creates a little table inside your sheet and designs it well, right? And so that's one of the reasons why I called my add-on sheet styles. It's because people are literally Googling and searching for the word styles and spreadsheets, and they'll find this, which is sheet styles is the whole sheet, table styles for a table, even though we're different companies. Same for well, not for tiny sheets. Not a single person is gonna Google for tiny sheets unless I tell them, right? If it's hard to find, then a good name, a different name is gonna allow you to be Googleable. If people are looking for what you have. And then the third add-on that I'm making now is called button styles, which is again probably no one is ever going to Google for that. Especially like you don't think you can create buttons inside of a Google Sheet, but there'll be like a sub headline, create a button inside of a Google Sheet, right? But when I email members and I'm like, hey, go click this link to download it, some percentage, somebody will not click it and will just Google for button styles. And we want like a name that is easy to find. I don't necessarily need better sheets to be the name of the add-on. So again, one of the reasons why I want to have different add-ons that do different things. Also, like the way the menu goes, like you only have a certain amount of space, even with a sidebar, which is the HTML sidebar that I have on sheet styles, you only have a certain amount of space. So like, yeah, you can keep scrolling and adding to it, and you can add more HTML, but like for the user experience, it's pretty poor to have to like scroll down a bunch. So we want to like create different add-ons so that you have different tools as well. And that's one reason why to create many add-ons and not just one. Jeff, did you have a question? If you have a question, you can also put it in the chat if you want. I could answer it that way.
Yeah, hi Andrew.
You got it. We've unmuted.
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, so I've just called in. I just got noticed your email a couple of minutes ago, actually. So I'm in the process of building a Google Sheets add-on for a new AI app.
Sweet.
So I was just really interested to drop in, and I'm particularly interested in finding out how to get it authorized for distribution. And yeah, apart from that, just pick up any hints and tips I hear during your webinar.
Oh, cool. So there's two big processes you need to go through, which are actually outlined in Alice Keeler's article. Let me see if I can find it. Not that one. This article, Customize Google Workspace with Add-ons. Have you checked this out?
I will do shortly.
I'll throw it in the chat here. If I can find it. This has been literally my step-by-step guide for all three of them that I've made. Even though like I've gone through the whole process and gotten it approved and it's working now twice. On the second one and on the third one, I still went back to this article and just made sure that I was doing the right thing at the right time. Have you?
Right, perfect. That looks really helpful.
Yeah. Have you put the cloud? Have you created the cloud project already and put the cloud project ID inside the app script?
So I'm actually I've been using Google Sheets for clients to create content at scale using AI. Specific types of business content, like maybe 10,000 up to 100,000 pieces of content at a time. So I'm not really an add-on developer. I'm more into the AI and using linked business data. So actually creating custom content based on specific business data. So my app basically is turning that functionality into a simple app with a nice user interface, so any business can use it to create custom data based on a process that I've developed over the last 2 years. So I'm actually I've found a guy on Upwork who's an app developer. So he's going to be building the UX. We found a really cool little tool where you can drag app UX elements straight into your app and it creates the code for you automatically. So that's quite helpful. It was created by one of the Google employees. Don't know if you're aware of it.
You're talking about app. You're saying the word app, but
add-on, sorry. Yeah. So I'm building an app, but it's an add-on.
But drag and drop, I can't. I don't think drag and drop works inside of Google Sheets, like for an add-on.
Okay, I'll just quickly see if I can find it for you.
Are you saying you copy and paste code into your
Well, so it's like a little it's like a little no-code builder for add-on functionality. So I'll see if I can find it. It was created by one of the Google guys. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it gets you off to a really good start.
Yeah,
I'm using that.
I would love to see it. Do you have a link to it?
Yeah, I'm just having a quick. I've got to search back through the chat history to try and find it. You can, if you want to carry on with your webinar, and then I'll just have a quick look for this, and I'll drop it straight into the chat as soon as I find it.
Sure, we're almost done. We got 8 more minutes. I mean, happy to
Okay.
chat about this. So you're still it sounds like you're still coding the app script part.
Right. Yeah. So I've built the whole interface, and my dev now is building the UX.
Yeah, I'm
for the
confused about
add-on.
what interface you're talking about because Google Sheet add-ons use Google Sheets as the interface.
So you can create various interface elements and user inputs on the actual add-on.
Yeah, where?
But it's limited because the add-on can't receive inputs from outside the add-on, right? So you can't affect the add-on can only affect itself. So
No,
it's the card
you can use
interface
external
basically, right?
services.
Pardon?
You can use external services.
Yeah, right. But from the external services, you can't update the add-on in response to changing data in the external services. Like you can't influence. So you can influence the sheet from an add-on, right? But you can't influence the add-on from changes in the sheet. That's how I understand it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like a
mean,
one-way.
I use a sidebar. So I use a sidebar, which is just HTML inside of the Google Sheet, and it reads whatever the sheet does. You can store data in the sheet, but I just actually also added script properties. So what script properties allows you to do inside a Google Sheet add-on and AppScript also is save data to the users. Well, there's 3 levels: user level, script level, and I forgot the other one, but domain level maybe. But script properties allows you to save and save data across time. So if a user, for instance, in this button styles add-on that I'm making, the user can save a style. I don't keep that on a server, even though I could. I can keep that on a server, have the user logged in, and then keep that data on my server. But I didn't want to create a server. So what I did is I used script properties to save that data internally beyond sort of in the script. And it's a part of Google Sheets that you can.
Right, got you. So yeah, so the problem we had there was there's going to be a lot of data saved on the sheets at runtime, which we're going to use as hidden sheets. We're going to use as mini databases, but also it pulls a lot of business data in from the main app.
Yeah. So here's app card. Yeah. Sorry, this is what I know. Yeah, this is just HTML.
Right, so you can drag all these in. So it's
Cool.
like a drag and drop editor, and it creates the code for you on the right.
Yeah, this is great. It's probably using the CSS from Google. Google has a CSS you can install, so you can make it look a little more neater and stuff. Looks like it might use that.
So yeah, so all those elements on the left, right?
Yeah,
If you just drag one of them in, you can drag it around on your actual interface, and then it creates all the script on the right as you do it.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's just a HTML here.
Yeah, it's just like a fast start, and then obviously you can customize it to how you want it.
So yeah, I guess that's a difference between what I'm doing and what they're doing here with these cards. So this card is like literally being built by this builder, which is a function of AppScript card. Yeah, this card service. Cool. Yeah, this makes a nice.
It's pretty cool. So basically, my dev said normally like things that could take him a day, he can do in like 30 minutes using this.
Cool.
So it might be useful if anybody needs to build something quick, just as a prototype or whatever. And then obviously you can customize it as you need it.
Yeah, what I've done is I just made one and then I just keep copying it over and over again. So
right, okay.
This sheet styles the sidebar on the right. I also didn't want to necessarily use the Google Sheets CSS. The styling, I wanted to make it a little different. And then you can also bring in something like Bulma CSS if you want, because it's just going to be, where is that? It's one line of code. Now I can't find it, of course. This URL, this CDN, all of this stuff, you can put this URL, this CSS URL inside of a Google Sheet add-on, and then you have all of the styling of Bulma available.
Okay, that's cool.
What you have here is this styling is based, I can't tell right away, but it's based on this card builder. This it's all of this. So basically it's just turning all of these things that you know of, like, oh, this is a text button. This text button, or these buttons here, is just this card builder. And here's this lines of code, yeah?
Yeah, right. So it's just a really fast prototyping tool, basically, just to get, so you can build your add-on like in a few minutes if it's something basic, and then test, whatever functionality, and then obviously, move on with specific customizations.
Right. But also this might be a little, at least in my particular case, this has been overkill because I need a few buttons and some text. In the one that I'm building now, though, there's a lot of more settings that people can set, and it might get a little cluttered if I continue to use something that I made, which is just these single buttons. And so using, I think I looked here, what this like radio list, having choices, having date picker. I also have a color picker and I don't see it here, but maybe, oh, you have whole, I don't know why you'd need a list of users, but this is cool. You have different.
Yeah, so, well, the app I'm building is going to be multi-user, for example. So if someone takes the business plan, for example, they could have a team of 8 people, and each of those people will be able to log in using the add-on and access the main business data for the shared account. So in that kind of case, something like that will probably be useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd mention this anyway, because not a lot of people are aware of it. But I don't think it's an official product, but it's one of the brains that Google built it just as a little kind of fun hobby toy.
Oh yeah, here each of these goes to the, oh, this is great. You can add it, and then you can also click on the name of it to find out more information on how to code it. It's great. This is a great tool if somebody wants to just learn each of these things, how to add like an image, because it gives you this link directly to this develop the documentation. Nice. That's it. That's a whole line of code just to add an image. Is card service dot new image dot set alt title dot set image URL, and you can just set that image URL anywhere.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm basically trying to hack together a prototype using that with an add-on dev and using Bubble as a backend.
Well, you mean Bubble for a separate web app?
Well, it's separate, but also it's going to store the database for the add-on.
Right. So earlier in the call, we were talking about how to like get paid for add-ons and stuff, and yeah, you just need a web app somewhere else. I would recommend doing that. Whatever you build it with, could be anything: Bubble, Webflow, Ruby on Rails, anything. Just, yeah, I would not put payment information inside of a add-on. Just do like, are you going to do like license keys, or like some ID that you have the add-on they have to install, and then they have to register on your site?
Yeah, exactly. Register first, then download the add-on, then put their login details in.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, that's basically it. But I'm not very far. We've got the whole thing designed on paper. We've got all the interfaces designed, but as you start to build with the card interface, the add-on, you discover I kind of designed it thinking I was building a web app, and there's lots of things you can't do with the card interface that you can do with a web app. So you kind of got to rethink your strategy quite a lot.
Here's weird. Okay, let me share you one weird thing that happened to me, and it might happen to you as well. Let's see if I can find this. Okay, let's go to sheet styles. So here's the sheet. This is like the actual sheet that I made the sheet styles add-on on. And how this works is it just like you have this sidebar. This sidebar is all HTML, and when I click anywhere here like this, it affects the sheet, right? Or it should. It should change. Here,
I can't see the screen right now.
oh, I didn't share my screen. That's why. Okay. So sheet styles looks like this. And you have a sidebar on the right side. And this sidebar is HTML, just like your card is going to be over here on the right. And I have some hidden like panels, basically. I could hide things. And but the thing is about these buttons that affect the sheet, which what it does on the back end is it's actually on click run this script. And it's like, good. I'll show you right now. It's in the HTML, it looks like this. On click equals script.run. Whatever the script name is. So change to papyrus mode, change here, custom style here. This does not work. This on click. It's so weird. What I had to do in my appscript.json in my in the file, which you have to go to project settings and you have to show appscript.json manifest file. You go to here and I had to change the runtime version from V8, which is the newest like runtime version. I had to change this to deprecated underscore ES5. This allowed me to then have on click to run a script. I hope that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the type of thing, if I was trying to build this myself, it could take me 2 weeks to work.
Developers won't know
properly.
this. This was like buried in, you can tell your developer this will save your developer a day or two, because what's going to happen is they're going to use runtime version V8, which is the norm. Like when you create your app script, that's the norm is it'll be now V8. It'll automatically set it to that. But what you're going to have is your scripts will not run from any buttons that you create on your HTML. What happened to me and what will happen is that if you run it in, so there's certain situations in which it will run, but there's a situation which I was in, which it didn't run, which is if your Google Chrome user is not the same user as the logged in Google Sheets user inside of that Chrome. That's when this does not run. So it actually worked completely fine in incognito mode when I logged into, when I was not logged into Chrome, but I was logged in just to my Google Sheets user. Totally worked fine. But the testers and the people running the like testing your app will not be able to use your app because they're always going to have a different Chrome user than their like logged in user. I as well have a different logged in Chrome user as my Google Sheets user. When those two users are different, V8 doesn't run that on.
All right, that's an interesting one.
It's so weird.
I guess my dev will discover that, and then if he has a problem, I'll mention that he needs to go back to the depreciated version.
Yeah, it's depreciated underscore ES5, very specifically. Like there's V8, and this is something like you won't find until like literally I couldn't figure this out until I had already set up the app. I had already submitted it, and the person was like, it doesn't work. I was like, what? Like it works fine. And then I realized, oh yeah, I've been testing it in incognito mode, which is like, it'll run fine. It doesn't have this problem of this on-click not work. It works completely fine in incognito mode.
Oh, cool. I have one little tip as well. I don't know if you've come across this, but have you tried to use the Google servers yet to send jobs to OpenAI?
No, I haven't used Google servers to send jobs to.
Okay, so they're operating some kind of queuing and throttling system. So, for example, we were running a task, and I think we were sending about 10,000 OpenAI API requests. And it took 12 hours on using the Google shared servers.
Wow.
So we simulated it using some script written on Bubble's backend, and it took 30 minutes.
Google servers are throttling it.
Oh, completely. It's almost pointless actually trying to use the standard servers that I use for the app script.
Mm-hmm.
If you're dealing with external APIs at scale, it's basically pointless.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So yeah.
And are they doing it to protect their own servers, or are they doing it specifically for OpenAI?
No, I think it's basically they're doing it because it's a shared resource, so they're trying to make sure everyone can get a little bit of the shared resource.
Oh,
But
sorry.
if you're trying to do
You mean
if you're trying to do anything at scale, it's just basically forget it.
right, because it's a shared server. But
Yeah,
that
right.
but is it also is it also that they're doing it specifically for OpenAI, or is it only the fact that it's a shared server?
I think it will be for any API request. The thing is with OpenAI, obviously, it's quite a long API request. It can be up to 8 to 10 seconds for the response. So I think that probably makes it worse than it would be under normal circumstances. So yeah, so what Google does is they collect your request and they batch it. So that if you've got like 10,000 requests, they'll send 100 requests and then they'll wait 15 minutes and then they'll send another 100.
That's going to take a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's like all day.
My God. But then, yeah, you said you set it up and it was done in 30 minutes?
But that's using a different backend.
Different server, yeah.
So if you use your own script on any type, anywhere, host your own script. And I guess there's probably some external providers as well where you could host a script, but I just got it put on the back end of Bubble, and 30 minutes, the whole job was done. So it's like 10 hours quicker, right? Which is significant.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if anyone comes across that, it's not a problem with your app script. It's not a problem with anything else. It's basically Google servers is the problem.
Thanks, Jeff.
So yeah, that might become useful somewhere.
And thank you everyone for coming. I'm gonna
have a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this. Thanks for showing up. I'm gonna pop this up on YouTube, maybe edit a bit. But yeah, this will be replay if you want to watch it again. Experience the joy again. No, thanks for coming. Yeah, my third Google Sheet add-on should come out. It's still in the middle of being reviewed. I'm just waiting with bated breath. That's about it. A lot of waiting around for Google Sheet add-ons to be approved, and there's always something going on. I'd also recommend that Alice Keeler article again. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks so much for watching the entire open session that was for members only, and you got to see the recording. If you want to become a member of Better Sheets and be invited to any of these members only office hours, sign up at bettersheets.co. You might be interested in AppScript. Over here, I've put the entire pre-course material, about 23 minutes, of Spreadsheet Automation 101. The entire pre-course material is here. The entire course is about 3 hours, 29 videos. This is 23 minutes long. So go watch that video if you're interested in learning how to create Google Sheet add-ons by writing AppScript. And if you're interested in just getting a Google Sheet add-on, go over here and check out Sheet Styles. 3 minutes intro to Sheet Styles, the Google Sheet add-on. It's completely free. Thanks for watching.